Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for Season 6 on Project Cars 2. This is the LPB INDYCAR series, so it's our own version of the INDYCAR series, and we are here for the first round following the American calendar at Circuit of the Americas GP circuit in the INDYCAR road cars. Two 21 lap races coming your way. This is the first one. Bidzster claims the extra point for being on pole position. Callum second, his teammate. So they're two teammates this season. They've got Stevie in third. Fourth is TY. And then we've got Gummy Bear in fifth. Neil in sixth. Then we've got Will in seventh. Keith in eighth. And Blakeney in ninth. So let's get ready for the start of this one then guys. So looking down towards the lights. Watching Neil Farmack's car there. Everyone... Obviously it all started on the red alternate tyres, and then we have to change to the primaries in the race. There was a graphic glitch, but I will explain that as it comes as we go for the start then. Everyone away well, let's get rid of this so we can see what happens at the start. Biz is into the first corner first, followed by Callum. Then we've got Will at the inside and Neil getting boxed in the middle. Will make contact with Gummy Bear as they go down the hill, but it's Bidzster in the lead from Callum, TY, Stevie in fourth place. As you go into the left right section. Into here, Stevie's lost the back end and TY's gone round as well. Everyone making mistakes here, and another car joins them as well. Who was that? That was another car. That was Keith joining him as well in the yellow car, so lucky there for Keith. As we go up to the end of this section and down towards to the hairpin before the straight. It is Bidzster in the lead then, with Callum in second place. Will is was in third. It's now Gummy Bear. They're around here somewhere. There they are. Just gone side by side out the corner there. So Gummy Bear takes third place, but Will's having a fight back here. Down the inside he goes. And we've got Neil Farmack just waiting in the wings behind. Will's up the inside of Gummy Bear. Oh, a bit of a twitch on the brakes there, and Gummy Bear runs into the back of him. That could present an opportunity for Neil Farmack to go through, but doesn't take it yet. As we go over the curbs, Will goes quite wide there. Neil has a look at the inside. No, not making a move there. Gummy Bear on the slight defensive there, just to make sure he keeps position. Runs wide onto the curb. Neil Farmack will have another little sniff of an opportunity here. Tries to go around the outside, but can't quite do it. As we go around that corner, Gummy Bear goes quite wide. Blakeney looking for a way through in the other car as well. Neil's lost it. Neil goes completely sideways, loses control of the car, and Stevie says, "Cheers boys, I'll have that." So Stevie makes up places and Neil Farmack goes sideways, completely drifts that car, and now he's back on the straight. So a hectic first lap there, but a few people making mistakes in that middle section. We'll get some replays on that for you now. Okay, here's a replay of the spinners then in the first section, so we're on board with Will. And then TY spins there, Stevie does the same, catches the curve, they both spin out. We get hit from behind, but then we survive. And now here's a look from Keith's car, so we're going through the same section in 8th place. We follow Neil on the curve, except we just get too much lock on, and then we spin, bang! Hit TY's car there, find the gear, and then we get on with the race. Before we Blakeney, then what happened to Neil Farmack? So they both run a bit wide there, and the Gummy Bear gets sideways and puts a load of smoke up. Then here we go. Into this corner, we're onto the brakes. We actually hit the back of Neil Farmack, and that caused him to spin out. And then we actually hit the back of Neil Farmack there. And then Neil obviously has to try and recover there, and Stevie's already gone through. But Blakeney doesn't wait for him, so that'll be under investigation. And just after that, actually, just so we know, we don't have to investigate this incident, because Blakeney does actually slow down once he realises and hands the place back to Neil Farmack. So good job there by Blakeney. As we come back from that then, in that section where all these incidents were, Bidzster is going through there, 1.7 seconds ahead of Callum now. So Bidzster and Callum are teammates. They are the AJ Foyt Enterprises team and the Honda. So just different sponsorships on them, as they have in a lot of American racing. The two teammates have the different sponsors. Then we've got Will. There he is in third place, just waiting for the camera to alter itself round. He is in the Dale Coyne Racing Honda team with TY, who is at the back of the pack at the minute. So TY having a bit of a struggle. So let's have a look at TY. There he is. There we are in the green car. So he's in that car. And then we've got Gummy Bear in the yellow car there. Gummy Bear is partnered with Stevie. He is in the Chip Ganassi, the Team Penske squad. So the Gummy Bear there, and then Stevie behind him in the grey car. So they're both Team Penske. Neil Farmack. There he is, Neil Farmack. He is independent this season. He is racing in the KVSH racing team, just on his own at the minute. But he's gone for the KVSH colours. And then we've got Blakeney. There he is, Blakeney. He's partnered with Keith. And they are in Andretti Autosport. So Andretti Autosport there. And then there's Keith's car. So you can see Keith in the yellow and black car, number 27. Meanwhile at the front, Bidzster pulling out a massive lead over his teammate, 2.9 seconds now. So pulling out a good half second a lap easy on his teammate here. Really, really on the ball. Now you've got to do a mandatory pit stop in these races. You can't do it on the first 2 laps, so you can pit any time from now because we're on lap 3, and you can't pit on the last 2 laps. So lap 19 will be the last lap that people can pit, and they've got to change from the red wall alternate tyres to the black, to just the normal white wall or black wall, however you want to call it, primary tyres. So the primary tyres are the harder compound, they're not as much grip but they last longer, and then the alternates are very grippy, softer tyres, but except they do run out of grip a lot quicker because they do wear out quicker. As Gummy Bear goes wide there in the background, and he's got Stevie catching up to the back of him now, so Stevie in the grey car catching up to the back of Gummy Bear, who was only 7/10 ahead now. He's in the draft, so he'll be closing on Gummy Bear down the straight. There he is, there's the yellow car of Gummy Bear, but grey and red car behind, that's Stevie. So the 2 teammates catch up to each other here. So first race of the season, so there shouldn't be any team orders as such, but we'll see between the 2 Chevrolets. Into the complex section, tight corner, you've got to get the power out, round this long right-hander, which is sort of based on the Istanbul's turn 8, but in the opposite way. It's a nice circuit in the Americas, but it doesn't really have an American feel to it. It's a very sort of, it sort of drives like a very European track. So, but still, it's a nice track. As we go into the last corner, Stevie gets a good run on his teammate, gets the power down. Can't quite get alongside enough yet. These cars have 10 boost push to passes, and sort of gives you an extra 20 horsepower for an extra 8 seconds. As Stevie dives on the inside of his teammate, Gummy Bear gives him an acre of space, and then Gummy Bear takes advantage down the hill. So Stevie a bit opportunistic there, but good to go for the move, good giving it a whirl, but obviously didn't quite pull it off. His teammate saying, "You're not passing me that easy, you've got to try and commit a bit more than that." As we go around this left right section, the physics of the Project Cars game not allowing us to take any curb without having a spin like we saw on the first lap, so got to be really careful around this section. And also during the pit stop, guys, I can tell you that everyone changed to the prime tyre, but there was an issue with the graphics, is because every car apart from Bidster's kept the red band of the alternate tyres on. As Stevie makes a cracking move on the inside of his teammate there and goes through into 4th place, and now he's going to chase down Will. Will is Rural 848 team. He's just changed his name to Will M79, so just thought he'd have a change. Yeah, Will in 3rd place there, but he's got Stevie closing him down. So Will partnered with T White in the Dale Coyne Racing Honda team. As we go on the curb, and goes very wide there. Stevie almost has a little opportunity to get through, but can't quite do it. But Will's had to go defensive into this corner. That's going to compromise him for the way out. Stevie will be right behind him, and he is sniffing that gearbox. Goes defensive again. That's going to again compromise his line on the way out. Stevie will close up into the last corner. Will goes wide, very wide there, and opens the door for Stevie and just says, "After you, sir." So Stevie goes straight through into 3rd place, with Will being very generous there. I don't think he was being generous on purpose. I think he just went a bit wide into the corner and just outbraked himself a bit, and Stevie goes through into 3rd place, and now he's free to chase down Callum, but Will's not giving up yet. Still trying to keep on the back of Stevie here into the complex section. Lap 5 out of 21. Left right. Will right up behind him. Will a lot quicker through that first section of the complex but Stevie then with a better line through the next bit, because Will goes and takes a completely wrong line through there. As Gummy Bear in the background has spun, just saw the yellow dot in the background. Thank God he's got a bright car with a high-vis jacket on, but Gummy Bear spins in the background, takes too much curb and goes down behind Neil Farmack, who moves up to 5th place. So Gummy Bear giving himself work to do there as Keith in 7th. Not having a bad race, but again just a bit further off the pace. Blakeney, his teammate behind him, and TY really struggling in this first race with this IndyCar, just trying to get used to the pace. So TY further back down the field. Meanwhile at the front, Bidzster 4.5 seconds ahead of his teammate, so Bidzster really pushing in this car now. The number 35 AJ Foyt Enterprises team leading the race in the Honda, and then we've got Callum Paul Banks in 2nd place, his teammate for this one, because not often you get Bidzster and Callum in the same team, but Callum had a bit of a miserable season last season, so he was in the second half of the group, which means that the first half always get put with someone from the second half, and it just so happens that Bidzster ended up drawing Callum. So Callum with Bidzster this season, so you think with the GT Sport performance that this is going to be a dominant season, but hopefully they should have some challenges with Stevie and Will and Neil and a few others, and TY if they can get on the pace. But yeah, very strange pairing, but good to see them together for the season. Stevie's already got 1.3 seconds on Will now after only 1 lap, so Stevie then piling on the pressure, or piling on the speed should I say, not pressure but just piling on the speed to try and catch Callum, and he's bringing Will along with him. Further back there's Keith, and he's past Blakeney, so Blakeney must have made a mistake somewhere. Blakeney goes backwards and his teammate takes the position, so Keith there up into 7th place. Not doing a bad job so far, keeping it on the track. And obviously it was between the IndyCar Series and the Porsche Series to actually get a championship underway. The Porsche Series will be DLC, but it was just won by 1 vote that this championship won, so we're doing open wheel again at IndyCars, and these are beautiful cars to drive, usually provide some good racing as well. It's a bit more strung out at the minute, but again hopefully should get some good battles later on in the race as things compact together with the pit stops. And there's Blakeney out the corner as well. Callum now 6 seconds behind Bidzster, so Callum obviously making a few little mistakes elsewhere, so he's not really up to speed fully on project cars yet, but Bidzster's giving him a bit of help with the wheel setup, and it seems to have been working out a little bit for him, but he's still got to find his own personal setup for it really. But he's getting there slowly, he'll get there with the performance, but still a solid 2nd place so far for Callum. Across the line, Neil Farmack then is only 2 seconds behind Will, so catching up to Will, just trying to close the gap a bit. These alternate tyres should last maybe until just before half distance, then they'll really start to become a handful with the tyre temperatures and the wear, because the tyre temperatures was one problem that a lot of people had in this race, because the tyres just got very warm, especially these alternate tyres, because that's such a soft compound, the tyre, that they do wear out quite quickly, and they are very sensitive to temperature change. And with it being very, very nice weather here at Circuit of the Americas, obviously nice clear sky, not a cloud to be seen for miles around, and very hot track temperatures, the tyre is going to stick a lot, and also with the friction presented by the G-forces, it is going to really, really, really scrub the heat into that tyre, and it'll probably end up becoming a problem for people later on in the race, but that's going to bring the strategy into it with the pit stops. Callum now 8 seconds behind Bidzster, so Bidzster is either flying or Callum's making a few mistakes, so I'd probably say it's a bit of both. Bidzster with decent pace and Callum making a few mistakes elsewhere, but Stevie's only 4 seconds behind Callum now. There he is, he's only 4 seconds behind Callum there, coming into that section there, and then Stevie's about to come into the same bit, the same camera shot, you'll see there he is. So 4 seconds to Callum now. As Will goes a bit wide in the background there, got to be careful of the track limits here, Will. He's running a bit wide there, but carries on out of the complex into the long third to last corner. That front left tyre will be begging for mercy through the end of that corner with the temperature and the G-force. These cars pulling about 2.5 to 3G through that corner as Will runs wide again. That's not going to help with the gap to Neil Farmack, who's behind him. There he is in the KBSH Racing Team car. Meanwhile, at the back of the grid, we've got back of the pack TY, who's partnered with Will, in the Dale Coyne Racing Team, just struggling for pace a little bit here. He's got some good pace now, but here we are, early pit stop for TY. Let's get it out of the way now, get off these tyres. Obviously these tyres are not working for him, so TY then first to pit. And Blaney's in as well, so Blaney actually is in as well ahead. Let's see if anyone else has decided to pit. I don't think so, no we haven't. So it's Blaney and TY into the pits now. Watch the tyres here, this is the glitch I'm on about. Blaney and TY do switch over to the primary tyres because I checked in the race, but if you look, it still keeps the sticker on the car, so that's not going to help me with the commentaries and just generally trying to spot who's done a pit stop. So the only person I'll be able to spot is, if I'm just talking out of the fourth person at the minute, is myself, because obviously my car, because it's my replay, it saved the graphics on my car properly, but unfortunately everyone else, I'll have to try and keep watch as usual to try and keep anyone who's done the pit stop. So the little indicator on my screen will not help me. There's Neil Farmack and Will. Oh, Neil's in front of Will now. Neil is in front of Will, so Will makes a mistake, goes back behind Neil Farmack. And I do apologise if I sound a bit like I've got a bit of a French accent sometimes. It's just that the hay fever here in Britain is quite bad, and I do suffer with it quite bad myself, so if I do sound like I am a bit sound like I'm from southern France, then I do apologise, but I've just ended up turning my Siri on my phone on, so that helps. But here we go. Oh! Will just about gets the car stopped and avoids the back of Neil Farmack's car, but Will really late on the brakes here and trying to push as hard as he can, but obviously in the turbulent air of Neil's car there, just got caught out and just made a little mistake. All's well that ends well as Blaney out the pits then on the primary tyre with TY, even though it looks like they're on the alternate tyre, but they're not. They're on the primary, which is a harder compound tyre. Takes a lap or two to get up to temperature and then they should be fine. But Neil Farmack pulling away from Will now. Will just going up very deep into the corners, just doesn't look like he's got the same levels of grip that he had before, so as the tyres are about had it, as Keith has now gone into the pits as well. He's changed onto the primary tyre even though it's still showing the alternate, so again a brilliant mark for Project Cars graphics there. Not as Keith crosses the pit lane exit line, and that could be a penalty. So because this season we have got the pit lane exit penalty on, just to make sure people keep within the white line for safety reasons. Because obviously crossing into the track while another car's doing 200 miles an hour is a bit dangerous. You need to get some time to get up to speed. But Keith there crosses the line, so probably be a penalty for Keith, if not a warning. So we've got to be careful with that. There's Gummy Bear then. Goes wide into the complex. Now let's see if any of the leaders pit this time. Bidzster's gone round. Callum, no. Stevie, no, not yet. Not yet for Stevie. Will Neil pit? Because Will's right behind him. Is he going to do it this time? No. Neil and Will go round for yet another lap. Gummy Bear as well. So none of the leaders deciding, none of the top six deciding to pit yet. Bidzster with an 8.1 second lead over Callum. Well, 7 to 8 second lead, call it. But loving this IndyCar by the look of it. Bidzster on the pace with it already, and showing the pace for the season as Callum tries to keep with his teammate, but he's got Stevie only 1.5 seconds behind him now, so Stevie piling on the pressure of Callum in front of him. Let's take an onboard shot with Stevie here and just see how he's catching up to Callum. Into the hairpin we go. There's Callum just ahead. We'll go out the corner, a little bit sideways, gets on the power, straightens the car out. Now are we using the push to pass this time? Doesn't sound like it. The revs aren't as high as they should be for the boost to be working, but Stevie managing the pace well. Still only 1.2 seconds behind Callum. Let's see if there's any difference in this section of track. Into the hairpin, there's Callum's car just ahead. And onto this section here now. Let's try a different camera this time. Let's go the IndyCar cockpit camera that they usually have on the driver's helmet. So into the corner, long right-hander. And in to the penultimate corner. And then into the last corner. Stevie doing very well here. Nice on-camera shots. Bit wide into the corner, but again gets away with it and across the line. So some good on-board shots there as Neil Farmack still 1.6 in front of Will. But Gummy Bear's fighting back. He's only 1.8 behind Will as well. So these three starting to close up to each other as we approach half distance in this race. As we've got a car in the pits. Is that Will? Yes, Will 79 is in the pits. So Gummy Bear is going to have to get on the pace here to try and get ahead of him. See if he can do the overcut, but Will's going to try and do the undercut. So see what happens here as Neil Farmack goes out the first corner. Callum and Stevie still 1.3 seconds apart, so still very close for them two. Down the hill towards the hairpin. Into the hairpin. Callum just gets perfectly on the apex there, and Stevie. Oh, camera's gone funny. Can't see Stevie there. So just looking at some grass. There we go. So down the straight. There's Callum. 1.5 seconds ahead, so pulled out a little bit of a gap over Stevie in that section there. Stevie might have gone wide onto the straight. And again, Will's at the pits, but again, no tyre change because obviously it doesn't put the graphics up. He has changed tyres to the primary tyres, I can tell you that, but it's still showing as the alternate tyre. So again, Project Cars, please sort your graphics out. It's embarrassing for you, because you've got such good gameplay and the car physics are quite good, but they're just the graphic content, guys. Come on, it's not hard. Bidzster is in the pits. The leader is in the pits. Lap 11 of 21, just over half distance in this race. Bidzster is in the pits. So Callum, is he going to follow him round? No, he's going to go round and Stevie's following him. Stevie's only 7 tenths behind now. So Bidzster changes into the pits and comes out of the pit lane. Now you'll see on Bidzster's car here, you'll see the graphics change. Look at the side of the tyres, just the white writing on the side of the tyres. So that's what should happen to everyone else's car, but unfortunately it doesn't happen to all them. It only happens to Bidzster's car because it's his replay. So Bidzster will come out the pits, and this is what you're supposed to do, Keith. Keep within the white lines. It's not hard. As we go down to the first, up to the first corner, because it's an uphill rise, and then down towards turn 2 with Bidzster. Out the pits, on the power, go. Got to get used to those new tyres. And now Stevie is only half a second behind Callum, and Neil's in the pits with Gummy Bear as well. Will's coming round, so all the action everywhere here. Will's come up to the last corner. Stevie's having a go at Callum. We can't see the move. Stevie's pulled a blinder on Callum and gone straight through. We'll get a quick replay on that for you now. And then Callum's coming back to fight with him. We're just going to have a quick look back at here. Will with Gummy Bear down the pits. Neil Farmack through the first corner. Will just gets out in front of Neil Farmack. He's done it. Gets ahead of Neil Farmack. And Callum and Stevie here. And Stevie keeps ahead of Callum there and into that corner. So good little battles all round there. But good quality stuff. As Gummy Bear comes out behind Neil Farmack, and Will's just ahead of Neil Farmack there, so it's all changed from, well, Will's ahead from the pit stops, but runs wide there, he's thrown it away, over the grass. Neil Farmack's going to have a good run here. Neil Farmack gets a good run, let's go on board with Neil Farmack then, down towards the hairpin. Will gets up to speed though, we're not going to be able to go up the inside yet, we're going to have to go for an undercut here. Will runs wide, Neil gets a good run through the corner, gets on the power, but Will trumps him to the point. And Gummy Bear falling a bit further behind, just getting used to these new tyres. Callum in the pits then, Stevie goes round. Callum in the pits, so he's going to come out behind Bidzster, we know that, because Bidzster's at the last corner already. So Callum then into the pits on the jacks, tyres about to be changed. Stevie then goes round, he'll be on it like Wallace and Gromit now. He'll be absolutely flooring it in that car to try and get as much pace as he can to come out ahead at the pit stops. Callum comes out the pits, Bidzster's already going around the first corner, so his teammate pulls out a gap. Callum goes down the pit lane, Will is still in 4th, Neil in 5th. Gummy Bear in 6th position, a bit further behind these boys, 2.5 seconds behind. Keith in 7th, He's 18 seconds behind Gummy Bear and 10 seconds ahead of his teammate Blakeney, we're looking at now, and he's 3 seconds ahead of TY. So TY, obviously on this fresh set of tyres, getting a bit more pace out there, so he's fighting back slowly, getting used to the car. So after the pit stops then, things getting rather close as Neil then has got dropped back towards Gummy Bear. So Neil makes a mistake then, and Gummy Bear closes up to the back of Neil here. Neil Farmack then just ahead of Gummy Bear there, down through turn 2, in towards turn 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Oh, Neil's lost the back end, and oh, Gummy Bear collects him. Nothing that Gummy Bear can do there to avoid him, but Neil makes a mistake, and Gummy Bear and they both rejoin, and both saying after you, no after you, but I think they should just rejoin as they are. It was just racing instant, but Neil's insistent on letting Gummy Bear go because he felt like it was his fault, but just a mistake, and Gummy Bear had nowhere to go, so one of those things. But Neil, very gentlemanlike, lets him through and stays it and goes back down to 6th place. Stevie's in the pits then. Stevie is in the pits, crucial pit stop for Stevie. Has he done enough to keep ahead of Callum? So we all know Bidzster's going to come through and take the lead, because he's just round the last corner now, sliding the car at the corner, pushing hard. Here's Callum, he's coming around the long third to last corner. Stevie's still in the pit lane on the jacks, still getting the tyres changed. Callum, last corner now. Stevie's on his way out the pit lane, but he's got a long way to drive down the pit lane now as we go through with Callum. Callum's on the straight. Stevie's just coming towards the end of the pit lane now. This is going to be close. I think Callum's just going to do it because Stevie's just coming through there. Callum takes 2nd place. Stevie is still in 3rd, but he's a little bit closer than he was, but still. In 3rd place goes Stevie, and now he's got to try and catch and pass Callum. So most of the pit stops now done in this race. Will is in 4th. We've got Gummy Bear in 5th after the incident with Neil on the other lap, but nothing that Gummy Bear could do to avoid that. Neil made a mistake, and Neil was sideways across the track. Gummy Bear had nowhere to go because the car was already turned and hit him, but still all's well that ends well. And Keith in 7th place, 14 seconds behind Neil now, so trying to close up the gap if he can. TY's now ahead of Blakeney, so TY into 8th place, so obviously liking these primary tyres a lot better than the alternates. So a harder compound tyre suiting TY as it usually does. It works out that way in GT Sport as well. You give a harder compound tyre to TY and it'll match the time on the softs, guaranteed. As Blakeney then in 9th place, just struggling to get up to the pace in the car, but still not doing a bad job. So the main focus is on track now. There's a battle for 2nd. Callum and Stevie 3 seconds behind is Stevie from Callum in 3rd place, and then we've got Neil Farmack and Gummy Bear, but again they're 3 seconds apart as well, so just starting to space out a bit in this race now. Still all about lap times, tyre wear, and if you've used all your boosts or not, because if you've not got used your boost up yet, you can gain maybe a couple of tenths a lap with the boost. Again, you only get 10 pushes of the button, and you get about 20 horsepower for about 20 seconds, so you get a little bit of a boost. Adds the entertainment value, but even though personally I'm not a fan of all this push to pass nonsense, you should be able to do it with just your normal engine and your own natural talent. You shouldn't have to have a button to help you pass people, but a bit like Formula 1 with DRS, you shouldn't have to open a little flap in the wing when you're behind someone to actually get past. You should be able to actually naturally draft past and naturally fight for the position as Neil spins round. So Neil spins round and he gets the car turned around, but his back tyres will be quite warm now. But Neil makes a mistake there and goes further back from Gummy Bear. Gap now at 12 seconds from 5, so doubled the gap. Neil Farmack gets on his way again. Keith's only 8 seconds behind now, so Keith could probably smell a potential 6th place finish if he can keep up the consistent pace. But he's only got 8 seconds to TY, and TY's on a charge here, I think. So TY finally getting used to the handling of these primary tyres and getting used to the car. But again, like I just said before, you give TY a harder compound, he'll go as fast as a set of softs. So TY doing a good job so far in 8th position. Meanwhile though, Bidzster 18 seconds ahead of his teammate. Really loving this car and loving the tyres. So Bidzster then in the lead. Obviously got pole position We don't know that fastest lap yet until the end of the race, but looking good for at least 21 points at the minute. And obviously remember, you get a point for leading a lap in the race without, obviously that's got to be flag to flag. So Bidzster obviously get an extra point for that as well. And I think Stevie did it as well early on in the race. So we'll have to see how that goes. It'll all be added up at the end anyway. But Bidzster so far 19 seconds ahead of Callum and still pulling away and really chucking that car around the corners. Callum is 1.1 seconds ahead of Stevie now, so 1 second in it roughly between him and Stevie. So Stevie's on a charge here. He's got the tyres up to temperature, got them where he wants them, and is now on a charge to try and catch Callum in the car in front. There goes Callum, there goes Stevie. No, there's the roof of Stevie's car. Anyway, there he is in the grey car. Teammates with Gummy Bear in the Team Penske Chevrolet car. And he's catching up to the AJ4 Enterprises Honda of Callum Paul Banks, whose teammates 20 seconds up the road. But Stevie now catching him hand over fist here. Down towards the hairpin, closes on the brakes. Callum's just not got the confidence on this set of tyres than he had on the alternates. And Stevie obviously liking the feel of these tyres. Probably go for the push to pass here. Callum might counter it though, and I think he is. Callum's on the push to pass, I think, because he's countering the speed of Stevie's car. So using it as a defence mechanism as well as a offensive mechanism. Into the 90-degree left-hander, into the complex section. This is where Stevie could have a little stab at it if he wants to, but he's got to get closer than that. Can't quite go for a move unless he's right behind him, which he is now. Right behind him now. Callum defends the inside. Stevie could go for the cutback here out the corner. Is he going to go for the cutback? Yes, he is, but Callum's defensive again into the next corner, not giving him a window of opportunity. Round the right-hander. Front left tyre screaming for mercy into the second to last corner. Then Stevie closes right up to the back of Callum here. Will he go for the move into the last corner? Closes up to the gearbox but doesn't go for a move yet. Out of the corner we go. Power on. Push to pass probably activated. Quickly look back at Will and Gummy Bear. And Gummy Bear's got past Will. The Americans having a nice fight between themselves as well. And Gummy Bear gets the place from Will, who runs wide a bit, side by side, but again quickly back to Callum and Stevie. And Stevie hits the back of Callum's car as he go down the hill. Stevie just lets the car run into the corner a bit too much, taps the back of Callum, looking to get away with that. And now into the left right section. Gummy Bear is ahead of Will now. So Will falls back down to 5th place. Gummy Bear up to 4th with the pace. And it looks like that's going to be an extension of the gap from Gummy Bear there. But Callum is still ahead of Stevie. But Stevie piling on the pressure now. Nice to see Stevie up there battling with the best of LPB racing, so definitely worked his way up from being a back of the pack mid-table runner to one of the top racers on project cars in LPB racing, so doing well so far. Confidence at an all-time high after that win last time out at Silverstone in the Historic Open Wheel Championship. Yes, he had a bit of a advantage with knowing a bit more about the car's boost system than we all did, but still, you've got to have the skill to win the race. And Stevie's showing it now. She's right behind Callum, still pressuring him, but Callum is not folding. Callum is not folding though. Callum is folding! I've just said Callum isn't folding, and he just has sideways under braking and sideways into the corner. Gives himself 50 pence a piece rubber and makes a mistake. Stevie takes the position, so Callum then just locks the rear tyres into the corners, overturns the car, and the rear end just says I can't handle any more grip and spins round on him. So Callum there back down to 3rd. He'll be kicking himself for that, but he'll try and stick on the back of Stevie if he can, but I do think Stevie's going to have the ultimate pace to keep ahead. But still, we've got a handful of laps left in this race, so anything's possible. We've got Gummy Bear still ahead of Will by 2.1 seconds, and Will still trying to stick with Gummy Bear, but Gummy Bear with decent pace here. Let's have a look further back down the order then. We've got TY here, who's still only 3.2 seconds behind Keith now. So Keith in the Andretti Autosport car, TY in the Dale Coyne Racing car. So both Hondas, but TY looking like he's got a bit more pace than Keith at the minute. There goes Keith out of the corner there, towards under the Falcon Bridge, towards this long right-hander, and TY now about to do the same thing. Down the corner. I know it still says red wall tyres, but he is on the primary tyres. Obviously I've been through that before, so with the little with the graphic glitch on the tyres. Gummy Bear there in 4th. Still 2.2 seconds ahead of Will, but 30 seconds behind Callum almost, so big gap there. And Stevie still the same gap to Callum after Callum made his mistake, so Callum's still sticking with Stevie here, not letting him go that easy, still trying to stick with the pace. Into the corner, wait, patience on the power, get the power down, out of the corner, round we go. Front left tyre, probably getting a bit warm around there, into the second to last corner, nicely over the curb there, but man of the race so far is Bidzster, 19 seconds ahead of the pack, still pushing hard, like there's someone behind him, he's trying to go for fastest lap. Very nice through this section, let's go on board with Bidzster, the race leader, into these corners. Over the top, we're about to lap someone here, I think that might be Blakeney is about to lap in 9th place, because you see the little icon there, there he is, with TY just in front of him, so TY's falling off the back of Keith now, back towards Blake, so TY's made a mistake somewhere, as Bidzster gets on the power, out the corner. Let's have a look further back then, we've got TY there, he is, he's gone from 3 seconds behind Keith to 10 seconds, and he's now 3 seconds ahead of Blakeney, so Blakeney the next person to pass, but Bidzster closing up in the background, so lap traffic to be a problem for Bidzster now, but again he's got 20 seconds, so I don't think he'll be in any sort of rush to get past really, but he's got the time to play with as Blakeney runs wide there. Bidzster gets on with it under the Falcon Bridge around this long right-hander. Lovely lines there from Bidzster down towards the second to last. Blakeney's round here somewhere. Has he gone off the track? Has Blakeney gone off? Yes, he has. Blakeney's gone off the track there, so really wide at that long corner, so must have made a mistake into it. Probably caught the curb on the way in. So Bidzster across the line there. Where's TY? There's TY up towards the first corner, so we might end up lapping TY here. We'll see. TY might not, or probably not want to be lapped by Bidzster if he can avoid it. And meanwhile, Stevie only 18 seconds behind Bidzster now, so just trying to close in the gap a little bit. But again, it's going to be a very, very lost cause unless Bidzster disconnects or he has a massive, massive crash or spin. But 17 seconds is a long way to go. So look at Bidzster then to catch up to the traffic. Let's see how close he is to TY now. TY's just at the hairpin, and Bidzster's just gone up to the hairpin now. There he is down the gears. So penultimate lap of this race then, lap 20 of 21. Bidzster powers down the back straight here at Austin, Circuit of the Americas in Texas. Glorious weather for this one, and it looks like the forecast is going to be nice for the next race as well. So looks like it's going to be another dry race, and again we have another qualifying session for that, a 10-minute qualifying session, and then we go for the race. So we'll have to see who gets pole in that one, but obviously your money would be bet on Bidzster with the amount of lead he's got, but still Stevie could pull a surprise out the bag, or Callum, because they looked like they had good qualifying pace as well, so you never know who's going to be on pole for the next one. Bidzster still trying to catch it to TY to lap him here, still pushing on hard. And Callum's made a big mistake somewhere. He's gone 11 seconds behind Stevie now, so Callum makes a big error somewhere, and he's now lost the chance of sticking with Stevie and trying to get that second place. So Callum falls back, he's still in 3rd place, but falls back 10 seconds from Stevie now. So made himself a bit of a harder job to do. Gave himself a bit of a harder job to do, but still in 3rd place, decent points to bring to the team with Bidzster first as well. Now how close is Bidzster to the back of TY here? Last lap of the race for Bidzster and Blakeney, because Blakeney's been lapped, but let's see if Bidzster can catch and pass TY on this last lap with the traffic. There he is, there's TY ahead. Up over the top with Bidzster. A little bit too much curve there to lift out the power, but still All's well. We'll go down to the hairpin. Here's the popping of the overrun of the car. Get onto the straight. Power down the straight. I don't think he's going to be able to lap TY here unless TY is very generous and doesn't want to do another lap. But trying to catch him. There he is in the black and white and green car. TY, the Dale Coyne Racing team. And Bidzster in the AJ4 Enterprises Honda, about to win this race. 18 seconds ahead of the nearest rival, Stevie, and he's going to bring it over the line in the next few corners. Just needs to keep it clean, no mistakes. And TY's letting him go here. TY's going wide offline. You'll see TY's car in shot. There he is. TY goes wide off, just offline, just to let him go through, because TY doesn't really fancy doing another lap. He doesn't really think he's going to catch Keith. So TY sensibly lets the leader through. And Bidzster comes up to the final corner to open up the account for the season. First win of the season for Bidzster in the IndyCar Series. Well done to Bidzster. He wins the LPB INDYCAR Series Race 1 at Circuit of the Americas. Well done to him. TY will finish in 8th. This has been lapped. Blakeney in 9th. Stevie's back here. 15 seconds behind Bidzster, so Bidzster just taking it easy on that last lap. And across the line goes Stevie for 2nd place. Well deserved as well. So look, cementing himself for the season to be a challenger for that championship. So Stevie, 2nd place. Callum was close to 2nd place in that race, but Stevie just had him on pace. But still a good finish for Callum here to bring home 3rd place points for him and the team. Well done to Callum. 3rd place goes to him. And now it's Gummy Bear in 4th place. He's coming up towards the line as well. We've got Will in 5th, but he's 11 seconds behind. Just watch Gummy Bear through these last few corners. Nice and neatly through. Over the curbs and in towards this last corner then. And powers out of it. Gummy Bear will take 4th place in the opening race of the IndyCar Series. Well done to Gummy Bear. 4th place for him. And it's going to be a solid 5th for Will M79, who goes very wide out the last corner, just tries to exercise the track limits. And goes across the line there in 5th place. And 6th place is going to go to Neil Farmack after a bit of an up and down race, really, a few spins, but still a decent 6th place for Neil Farmack. And Keith will be the final finisher on the same lap as everyone else in 7th position. So well done to him. So Keith for Andretti Autosport crosses the line in 7th position. So well done to Keith. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's results from that one then. So it is Bidzster that takes the win in that one from Stevie in 2nd, and it is Callum in 3rd, 4th for Gummy Bear, 5th for Will, then it is 6th for Neil Farmack, Keith in 7th, and then it is TY in 8th, and Blakeney rounds off the 9. And there is your winner in the orange and black car there. Bidzster was trying to get a better shot of him there for you. There he is in the orange and black car, Bidzster there. And we'll see you guys next time for race 2. Take care, guys.